I now want to talk about Zach Wilson, the BYU starting quarterback. So Zach Wilson's an NFL prospect, apparently. A lot of people think that he's going to go in the first round this year. It's definitely possible. And listen, before I get into the nooks and crannies of how I feel about Zach Wilson as a prospect, I'm pretty confident in saying that I have a good gauge that Zach Wilson is going to be a first round pick. Whether you think he's worth a first round pick or not, I'm confident that he will be selected in the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft. And why do I say that? Well, I say that because there's a lot of quarterback needy teams. Teams like the Jets, teams like the Jaguars. I think the Detroit Lions could use a successor to Matthew Stafford. Same thing with the Falcons. They could use a successor to Matt Ryan. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is the future of the 49ers. You look at Chicago, Trubisky, Nick Foles, it's not working. You look at the New England Patriots. What if they move on from Cam Newton? They're going to need a good young quarterback, right? The Denver Broncos, Drew Lock, he's not looked good this year. The Denver Broncos could be in the market for a quarterback. The Carolina Panthers, they could be looking for Teddy Bridgewater's successor. Washington, Alex Smith is fine. Dwayne Haskins, I believe in him, but does the coaching staff believe in him? I'm not sure. So Washington could be in the market for a quarterback. The Colts, I like Jacob Eason, but it's not obvious that Jacob Eason's a franchise quarterback. We shall see. They could look to move on from Philip Rivers. So there's a lot of quarterback needy teams in the 2021 NFL Draft. And for what it's worth, Zach Wilson has put some good things on tape. There is things to like about Zach Wilson as a prospect. However, let me state my position on Zach Wilson. I'm not sold on Zach Wilson, and I don't believe Zach Wilson is worth trading up for. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by I'm not sold on Zach Wilson? Me saying that does not imply that I think Zach Wilson is a terrible quarterback. Zach Wilson definitely can make it as a starting quarterback in the National Football League if he gets the right support around him and if he pans out. It's not crazy to think that. However, when I'm drafting a quarterback, especially in the first round, I'm looking for a franchise quarterback to be the guy long term. The next 10 to 15 years, I want that quarterback to be my guy. If that's not the case, if I don't identify anyone being worth that pick at the spot in which I'm at, I'm not drafting that quarterback because you can get a good starting quarterback somewhere. You could do that in free agency. Teddy Bridgewater, he's a starting quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo is a starting quarterback. Those guys are not franchise quarterbacks. And I think that Zach Wilson is going to fall into that Jimmy Garoppolo and into that Teddy Bridgewater mode. He definitely has more potential than Teddy Bridgewater. And I honestly think that he might have more potential than Jimmy Garoppolo. He can become a good starting quarterback. But a franchise-changing quarterback, I'm not so sure. I'll tell you why. When I watch Zach Wilson, nothing jumps off my screen. Nothing. And keep in mind, I've watched Zach Wilson on my TV screen, and I've actually watched the guy play live. I got a chance to watch Zach Wilson last year play against my college, the University of Toledo, in Toledo, Ohio, in the Glass Bowl. And not one time did I think Zach Wilson was an NFL quarterback. He made some good throws. He didn't play awful. He did throw a bad interception, but I saw the guy play live, and I thought he was an average Joe. I just didn't see anything special about Zach Wilson, He makes good decisions for the most part, but I think that Zach Wilson at times tries to play way too much hero ball. There is some recklessness to his game now. He's not as reckless as a Jameis Winston or a Sam Darnold, but there's some bad habits that he needs to break, and I look at his arm, and his arm's just okay. His deep ball at times will flutter downfield. He underthrows his deep balls a lot. When he connects on his deep balls, it's beautiful, it's pretty. But there are certain throws that Zach Wilson just cannot make. He's a good quarterback, but not a great quarterback. Not a great quarterback prospect. And there are some things that he will be limited to at the NFL level, in my opinion. There are some things that he is just not physically capable of doing. He's a good athlete, not a great athlete. I see him escaping from these, defenders, but they're not Ohio State guys, they're not Alabama guys, and they're not Clemson guys, okay? He's a good athlete, not a great athlete. He can buy some time. He can maneuver the pocket. He's got good pocket presence. He can escape some pressure when needed, but I don't know. It's just one of those things where I think he looks like he's a great athlete at the college level, but when he goes against those faster defensive ends and faster linebackers, I think that Zach Wilson might meet reality in the NFL. And also a thing that I don't like about Zach Wilson is he struggles to get to his second, third, and fourth reads. And when he does do that, he tries to play hero ball. I don't like that. I want a guy that's patient, that will sit in the pocket, that will make good decisions, that will scan the field, and a guy that doesn't really have happy feet. And listen, I'm going to continue to evaluate Zach Wilson. I'm still in the process of watching some of his games. I've not watched every single BYU game this year, but in the amount of games that I have watched, I just haven't seen a dynamic thrower of the football. And again, if you want to draft Zach Wilson, that's fine. He's not my cup of tea. He might be Washington's cup of tea. He might be the 49ers' cup of tea. He might be the Bears' cup of tea. That's fine. And listen, if Zach Wilson goes to a very good roster, he can win you a lot of games in the National Football League. We've seen Jimmy Garoppolo get to a Super Bowl. We've seen Nick Foles get to a Super Bowl. So listen, it's not impossible that Zach Wilson could make it in the NFL. I just see a guy with a very high floor and not a high ceiling, and that is not my cup of tea, okay? Zach Wilson could one day become the best quarterback out of this draft class. A lot of things could, factor into that. Maybe Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence go to dysfunctional teams. They're not supported, and Zach Wilson goes to a good team in which he's supported. Listen, it's all about fit in the NFL, and honestly, it's all about where do you land, in my opinion. It's really, you can say it's about your talent, but in reality, a lot of quarterbacks are very talented. It's all about getting in the right situation and being put in a great position to succeed. And I could see a situation where Zach Wilson proves me wrong and develops into a franchise quarterback one day. I could very well see that. But based on what I've seen so far, he's not my cup of tea. And I'm not sure if I'm willing to spend a top 10 pick on Zach Wilson. So that's where I land on Zach Wilson. Again, not a terrible quarterback. But again, not quite my cup of tea. And that is how I feel about Zach Wilson as an NFL prospect, at least as I speak today. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.